The Queen has been reportedly advised against following royal tradition next month, sparking fresh health concerns. When Her Majesty left for Scotland in late July, she was reportedly hoping to be able to briefly interrupt her holidays north of the border and make a 1,000-mile round trip to either Windsor Castle or Buckingham Palace to meet the new leader of the Conservative Party and ask them to form a new government. However, a source has now claimed the Queen has been advised against leaving Scotland for a few days to carry out one of her most significant duties as head of state. They told The Sun, "The Queen has now been advised not to travel. But obviously no one tells the Queen what to do, and ultimately it is her decision, and as we saw when she made a third appearance on the Buckingham Palace balcony at the Jubilee, she likes surprises. There are some parts of her role that Prince Charles can do on her behalf, but the Queen is adamant that she appoints the Prime Minister. It may not be the best choice to make the Queen travel 1,000 miles there and back for a 48-hour visit when the Prime Ministers can easily get to Balmoral instead. This would be the first time in more than 100 years the country's new Prime Minister isn't appointed by the sovereign in England. The Queen asked each and every political leader to have been appointed by their party over the past 70 years to form a new government during a meeting held at Buckingham Palace. However, she met her first Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, at Heathrow, where she landed upon returning from her interrupted tour of the Commonwealth in the wake of the death of her father King George VI. The only Prime Minister to have been appointed on foreign soil in modern history has been Herbert Asquith. In 1908, following the resignation of Sir Henry Campbell Bannerman, Mr. Asquith had to travel to Biarritz in France, where King Edward VII was spending his holidays, to be appointed new Prime Minister. They claim the monarch may bid farewell to the ongoing Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, and the new leader of the Tory party in Scotland rather than in England comes a few days after two royal experts shared their thoughts about having the 96-year-old undertaking a similar trip. Royal author Phil Dampier tweeted, "The Queen wants to show she is still a functioning head of state, but wouldn't it be better if the new Prime Minister travelled to Scotland to see her at Balmoral rather than her go to London or Windsor?" A few days prior, managing editor at Majesty magazine Joe Little had told the Daily Beast, "You'll be amazed if the 96-year-old monarch does travel to London for this purpose next month and wonder if there really is a need for her to meet her 15th British Prime Minister in person. Could it not be done virtually, as is the case with incoming ambassadors to the UK? Or perhaps the new Prime Minister could fly up to Scotland and be received by the Queen at Balmoral." The monarch has been suffering from episodic mobility issues since last autumn. In October, she was seen for the first time using for comfort a light walking stick during an engagement. Over the following months, the monarch pulled out of several important events, including the reception at COP26 and the Commonwealth Day service. Most poignantly, in May she missed the state opening of Parliament, asking her son and heir Prince Charles to deliver the Queen's speech on her behalf. While as one of the four councillors of state of the monarch, the Prince of Wales can step in for his mother and carry out some of her constitutional duties, the appointment of the Prime Minister is one of the core constitutional functions that may not be delegated to others, according to the royal family website.